everybody? Scott Golden here with the uh, Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the continuation of our All Star Wrestling series, which happens in this case to be September 26th, 1981. We are fast approaching the end of 81. There's about 8 of these in 82, and then we're moving on to Mid Atlantic Wrestling. But we've got almost 1,900 of these audios available on a variety of topics, as you've seen. Also, if you're looking for life and business and relationship coaching, my main channel, Golden Opportunities Coaching, nearly 1,000 videos on there as well. So 3,000 titles in a variety of topics from me, and hopefully some of those are helpful to you. In any event, we move to Tag Team Champions Tony Garea against, or Tag Team Champions Rick Martel and Tony Garea against the Nature of individuals, but actually, before we get to that particular match, we do see a previous match with Angelo Mosca. Mosca with punch kick style, very basic style, from Championship Wrestling, choking the man out over and the man having to be Steve King. Mosca getting under everybody's skin, and obviously the continuation. Brawl on the outside post-match after Mosca gets a victory, taking out Pat Patterson. Patterson taken down by the bullying of Mosca. Mosca was disqualified at the bequest of Pat Patterson from previous week, saying that Mosca being out of control was out of hand, and then Mosca eventually attacking Pat Patterson. Maybe they're going to do a house show program around the loop or something of that general sort. Anyway, the tag team champions are here, which is the match that I wanted to jump into prior, and that manages to be Garea and Martel as we move forward there. Not exactly a, run forward match. Rick Martel, Tony Garea, Baron, Mikel Cicluna, and Ron Shaw. Not necessarily sure why you bring Shaw back in that particular iteration after debuting him as the Executioner on a TV taping prior, but maybe you needed extra matches or extra bodies or something that way. Again, Cicluna been around since the 1950s, hanging on to Tony Garea. Garea takes usually the beginning of these matches, and then Martel comes in, gets cinched up by the same arm bars and basic maneuvers. Ron Shaw comes in bright yellow boots, which you're certainly not going to miss Ron Shaw in those boots by any stretch of the imagination, and we continue to be kind of the bit of tag off there. And again, Tony Garea continuing to take a good bit of punishment there. Garea cinching up on the arm once again of Baron Mikel Cicluna. Cicluna tagging back off to his adversary, or tagging back off to his partner, and once again, kind of a very basic match. But it comes back to Shaw taking dominance with power maneuvers, Cicluna with a slower style, more punch kick style, Shaw trying to do a little bit more but not getting as much as he wants to, and eventually the tag team champions do get a victory using the top or second rope on the inside to double axe handle and other maneuvers, and eventually getting a victory over Ron Shaw. And that is the continuation. Tag team champions talk about Fuji and Saito as eventual challengers, talk about being best friends and good partners to each other, and multi-time tag team champions in a post-match interview with Vince McMahon. McMahon having to step in for Pat Patterson, who'd been taken out earlier in the program. Then we go to the Grand Wizard and Greg Valentine. Valentine this time wearing a purple, partially sequined robe. Valentine had been wearing green, moving to purple, just I guess for sake of difference. Ron Ringo is the opponent for Greg Valentine here. Obviously, very one-sided match. Valentine continuing to get ready for and having matches on and off throughout the territory with Bob Backlund and other high-level challengers. I'm sure a few Pedro Morales matches can be found as well. as Valentine, not a guy to take a backward step from anybody at this time, and Valentine probably, maybe next to Morocco, the second top heel in the area at the time here in 1981. Hard shots by Valentine, punches, kicks, forearms. Valentine also with a vertical suplex and tries to get his man up and over in the butterfly. And eventually, the figure four gets a win for Greg Valentine. Valentine has gotten the figure four over to be a very dangerous hold and one that a lot of people do not want to see Valentine continue to apply or be allowed to continue to apply more accurately. Classy Freddie Blassie out next with the Killer Khan. Khan continuing to ride on the breaking and ending of Rick McGraw's neck, as well as the issues as it relates to Andre the Giant from Pryor, and Killer Khan defeating Lee Wong. Lee Wong, a enhancement talent who hasn't really done a whole heck of a lot. Wong sent to the outside very early in the match. Also, Khan trying to bring the man back in with hard forearms and the like. Super basic stuff, and eventually we see Killer Khan with a top rope knee drop and the victory there. Tag team match of Fuji and Saito, both wearing what looked to be modified kimonos. Fuji also beginning to do, or had been doing in previous weeks. It was the first time I actually saw it so pronounced. The ceremonial assault. Saito facing off against Saito and Fuji, more accurately. Facing off against Dominic DeNucci and Joe Cox. DeNucci taking the majority of the match because he is obviously more the established star. Fuji coming in after Saito has DeNucci in an full Nelson. And then both guys trying to grapple for a vertical base. Obviously, DeNucci having the height advantage when he's completely vertically sound. Tag off to Cox, who is a prepared individual, gets a lot of elbows, punches, kicks, and strikes, and double teams. Then we see Saito beeling his guy across the ring as hard as he can in an aggressive fashion, and then we see Saito taking his man back to the corner, and the double team maneuver by the Japanese tag team leads to a victory for the heels. We move into the final match of the day, which happens to be, I think it's the final match of the day anyway, which happens to be the foray into Intercontinental Champion Don Morocco facing off against George Roselio. Not exactly going to be a match to write home about, as Morocco again used in the situation of being kind of the first or second heel. He and Valentine, I think you could debate, are as being number one and number two heels in the area. Morocco makes his way down, and of course the Grand Wizard is printing him out there. Gold jacket and greenish pants by the Wizard. Very brown tights by Morocco. Morocco takes a side headlock and goes after his opponent pretty aggressively. Match only runs about 2-3 minutes at most. Morocco obviously getting the shine from the beginning, side headlock takeover, and the Wizard doing everything he can to create consternation and stress for anyone at ringside. And the inverted upside down tombstone piledriver is the win for Morocco. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. We will be back with more right after this.